Today we are going to review the Atari 2600. And now, I know this is an old console, and I could be reviewing a PS3, Xbox 360, or a Nintendo Wii. Well, I myself love retro games, but, you know, there are some great games for new consoles as well, but, you know, I want to start out with some of the great classics. This is an Atari 2600. Now, one of my favorite, I'm sorry about the bad quality of video, but one of my favorite features is that nice wood grain that just does not come on consoles any longer, but most of the consoles look really cool anyway, so they don't really need that grain finish, but it gives the Atari some character. Let's see. These little switches here, no buttons to cause not to work. And I like the cartridge slot. It's really weird, and I mean, most of the games don't even have pins sticking out of them, so it's kind of weird to see how they work. I mean, there are games that do have the pins, but I mean, obviously, they all have pins somewhere, but you just can't see them. Look at that. That's no pins. Look at them. Now, on other games, there are the pins that you can see, but hey. Yeah, so it's a pretty good system all around. There are a few problems. First of all, the controller slots are on the back. I personally do not like that, because that, and the cords are fairly short. There it is. Sorry, I'm pretty unorganized when it comes to making videos like this, but the controller cable very short. Looks like I've pulled really long, but it's maybe 3 feet, maybe 4, I don't know, which seems pretty long. But if you think about like the PlayStation 2 controllers, Xbox controllers, they have a lot of length to them, and you could get controller extenders. With this, you can't, but hey. I also like how on the Atari there's multiple types of controllers. Now, I only have 2 different types to show you, but let's see. The standard joystick, 1 stick, 1 button, very simple controller, and you can play so many different games on it. Now, I'm not sure if these actually even work. I hope they do, because there are some great games that I have that I cannot play without these next controllers. Paddle controllers. There's 2 of them, and there's 2 separate wires, and they come down to form into one end, which is pretty cool. And there are other controllers, like the keyboard controller, standard 1 to 9, or 1 through 9, and then there's 0, and then the star and pound. But this kind of there's a racer controller, which oh yeah, okay, I know what the difference is. This, you can go side to side, but it eventually locks. With the racer controller, you can just spin it one way as far as you want, and it'll not lock or stop in any way. Now that we got the controllers reviewed, sort of, well, 2 different types of the controllers, Another thing I like about this console is you can choose black and white right here. There's color and black and white. That's pretty neat, you know. Granted, back then a lot of TVs were black and white when this came out, but hey, it's this exact Atari 2600 was made in '88, I think. I don't know. I opened it up to give it a good cleaning because it was very dusty, and there's a little piece of paper with this production date stamped on it. Alright, now to go through some games. I do not have very many games for this console, but there's some to give you an idea of what's on it. Now, the first one I'm going to show you, classic game. I don't understand why they don't put it on newer consoles. I mean, they might, but hey. Pac-Man. I am actually holding the cartridge upside down. Really, it goes in the console like that, so it's upside down. Nice end labels too, so that's wonderful. This one, I mean, arcade game. The NES wasn't out yet, so, but still. Made by Nintendo, right there. Donkey Kong. Great game. I mean, yeah, there are a lot better arcade games out there. And that one I was actually holding the right way, by the way. See, then it's Donkey Kong. End label. One of my favorite Atari 2600 games. Maze Craze. All three of the ones that I showed you so far are played with the joystick. So let's go through and then we have this one, Combat, which I guess has a bunch of different games that I think are mostly the same thing. I'm not 100% sure. What is this one? Journey Escape. I don't know what the point of that one is. I haven't actually played that one. Another great arcade classic. Asteroids. Some of these games, I gotta admit, have some pretty awesome artwork on them. Another one, too bad this, like, the game itself works perfectly. It's just a shame that the label has a little break in it. Space Invaders. Great game. I'm trying to separate the ones that I have from joystick to paddle. I gotta speed things up, but I mean, there's bowling on the Wii, but how could you ever beat bowling on the Atari 2600? I'll review that game, by the way. I got some good things to say about that game. And last joystick game that I have is Missile Command. Now, I only really have about a minute to get through the next ones. This one I never really understood the point of. Circus Atari. Played with the paddle controller, as are the next two games that I have. Another arcade. Is this an arcade? Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if that's an arcade classic or not. I remember playing this on the PS1 with the Atari disc, but Warlords. I'm horrible at that game. And then, awesome party game, Breakout. Awesome. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the game has to do with a dude with what I think is a tennis racket, but well, that's it. That's really as much time as I have for a YouTube video, but That's the Atari 2600.